Hey, what's up, you guys? DJMama here, and we're gonna talk about Legacy of Destruction formats. The current format is a weird spot. That's all I'll say. We're gonna go over the archetypes that are, well, we're gonna tier the meta right now. So at the top, of course, you have meta defining, uh, decks that are doing above expectations even after the ban list and the introduction of lead. Performing as expected, decks that are doing all right. They're not topping every left and right, but they're performing probably as expected. Fringe playability, they might have like a top here and there and like every other week. uh, so fringe playable, I'll put that there. It's like it's doing all right for itself, and then flops. Flops mean they're not doing well even with the changes to the ban list and the introduction of the new set. So sadly, we have to start off with Blackwing. I think Blackwing's kind of a flop right now. Uh, Yeah, after Darkwing Blast, I don't think Blackwing's not gonna see that much play during the time. Branded. Branded still with Sanctifier, still with the gimmick puppet lock. Still performing as expected. It's not like winning everything, but it's still probably performing pretty well. They still have pretty much everything. Because they pretty much have three brand fusion, still Sanctifier, and still the gimmick puppet lock. So still there. Uh, Buster Blader, I think even worse right now than Blackwing. So, yeah. All right, the new Centurion stuff. I haven't seen pure Centurion, but I don't want to call it a flop. I've seen something of it. The new Centurion stuff is okay. It's definitely not performing as expected. Uh, I think they might have seen a boost after their new synchro and their new main deck guy. I'm just gonna call them fringe playable. Chimera. I think Chimera also probably the same thing in branded right now because they're in the same brews. They're with the same fusion deck. Why is a Luber here? A Luber. I'm just gonna put a Luber branded. All three of these are together. They're performing as expected. There's a new illusion card, but I don't think it's adding that much to this archetype specifically. Dragon Link, I say fringe playable. Nothing changed for them in the ban list. Nothing has really. I mean, Savage and Boral and Savage Dragon and Baron being gone does hurt the deck. I'm gonna put him in fringe playable. I think falling off finally. Dragon Link after so many years. Fire King, where is Snake Eye here? Where's Snake Eye? What is happening here? Tempai. Okay, there's Snake Eye right here. I'm gonna say Fire King Snake Eye for this. Just a heads up. Fire King Snake Eye, I think it's above expectations right now. It's performing as expected. It's like, even pure Snake Eye is still the meta, I think, though, but Fire King Snake Eye is still performing fairly well. I think people thought, actually, is it as expected but better? It's gonna be better than these three for sure. People really thought oh, Fire King Snake Eye is gonna be the way to play Snake Eye, but Snake Eye can just play pure still, even after the extra deck hits, because there's nothing main deck hit about Snake Eye. Flu. It's above branded. Shifter deck, but I don't know. M-Pen and what? Apex Avian? Is that all they still have left? Really? They still have all the pods. It's not like Master Duel. Master Duel massacred Flu. Flu in TCG is different. It's still just kind of a shifter deck with pot cards to draw. It's all right. I'll just say it's as expected. Lab above the Flu though, as expected again. Not really going above right now. I don't think it's fringe playable. I don't think it's bad as these two, but I think it's performing as expected right now. Vanadium? Probably fringe playable. I haven't seen Vanadium do stuff after Baron got banned. It was Baron's their way to have their end board. I mean, they have Dis Potter, but they probably want both. They want both Baron and Dis Potter on the board. So yeah. Next up, I think I'm gonna put Melodious here. So Melodious is performing very well, not as just a deck on their own, but actually as an engine in other decks like Voiceless. I've seen uh, Melodious Tier, I think was one of them. What was the other one? Melodious has seen a lot of play as a deck as a whole and as an engine in some decks, so above expected, but definitely just not a meta definer. I don't think it's a very good deck, but I don't think it's truly meta defining as some other decks we have right now. Orchest. I'm not gonna call them a flop, but they're definitely a little lower than expected. Fringe playable, because we have 3 Harp Horror as of the ban list, but it's not. I don't think it's better than Branded, Flu, Lab, and even Fire King, like Snake Eye. Yeah, I think it's better than these two. It's debatable if it's above Dragon Link, but I will put it because Horus is crazy. Um, yeah, that's probably right. Paleo. Paleo's surprisingly doing well in this format. 60 card Paleo, by the way, no grass. Is playing Laundry Dragon Maid to mill cards. So the playables are very questionable, but trap cards and Paleos kind of are crazy. Everybody kind of forgets that Paleos are unaffected by monster effects for some reason. Um, yeah, I think Paleo is actually performing pretty well this format. You know, it has the top. It doesn't have like tops like compared to Melodious, definitely not, but definitely performing above expectations. Was nobody was really kind of looking at Paleo, maybe 1 or 2 tops during Fire format, or previous lead format. Plunder. I'm gonna put you in fringe playable once again, probably above Vanadium. But not above Dragon Link. Plunder Runic is very good. Yeah, I will say. I think it sadly does need the Runic engine to start doing what it needs to do, but I still think it's good. Pearly is actually doing very well for itself. Uh, Tops here and there. Pearly is doing well with even just a buffed 1 copy of Delicious Memory. Uh, yeah, it's not doing too terrible for itself. I think Pearly is doing pretty good. Rescue Ace. It's definitely not Fire King. It's pretty hard carried by Diabell Star. I think it's still better than Vanadium. um, it's fine. Sadly, Airlifter to 1 is still a problem for the deck. Yeah, I think it's it's gonna be a little bit better than Vanadium. That's about it. Pure Runic. Uh, I don't know. Runic losing a lot of like floodgates, and I don't know. If this is like the Runic stun variation, it's probably here. Anything other than that, I think Runic is as expected, but it's real low. But I think I'll just put Runic here. I don't think Runic's doing that great for itself. Salamangreat, maybe another flop, but they do have a new card in lead that people are not exploring. That like like level 2 guy. I'll just say that. Scareclaw. Scareclaw probably above these two, but not above Solid. Striker. Sorry, Toss. With 3 engage, I still haven't seen Striker do that much. I've seen other decks use Striker cards, like 3 Striker with Widow Anchor, Hornet Drone, and maybe Shark Cannon with a Kagari in the extra, and that's probably about it. Pure Striker probably isn't enough. Yeah, I'll just say it. I think Striker is flopping even with 3 engage in their brew. Is what it is. All right. Yeah. Do we have to say anything else about Snake Eye? By the way, Snake Eye is so good. It's just so good until Snash gets hit or anything else about the archetype get hit. Yeah. Let's just say that meta definer spellbooks. I'll put you above Buster Blader. That's all I can give you really. What? You don't have? Do you have 3 judgment? I don't know. I mean, Sky Striker, Spellbook maybe could do something. Who knows? Sprite. It hurts me to kind of put them a fringe playable. I'll put them maybe above Centurion. Twos, I mean, if you have Esprit Little Knight, Sprite could still do it, but it's not. It's just a little too to the ground, I guess. Yeah, it's still a little too to the ground. I don't know. It's definitely not all the one card combos like Snash, but yeah, let's just say that. Tier. Hmm. And still no Kit Kalos. I'm gonna say probably also fringe playable. The three Mali does actually affect tier. They still have Beatrice lines with like Destiny Hero Dangerous. Um, I'm gonna say that yeah, fringe playable alongside Sprite. So the pro guys are right there. 10 Pie Dragon is another meta definer. People really thought this deck was not good. They thought it was just like it's like 20 going second staples and then some of engine, and they thought, oh, the engines, it's whatever. It's just mostly the going second cards that are gonna carry this deck. But no, people see Pydra and Bident Dragon and Trident Dragion, and they hit through Pot of Prosperity's like half battle damage things. They're like, okay, actually this deck has teeth and it can play through a lot and have the line to lethal a lot of the time. And Sangen summoning, ooh, yeah, that do be a field spell. That do be the field spell it reads. Unchained, still one, Charvara, so unfortunate. Voiceless. Voiceless is probably 3. It's still like you gotta play around Voiceless. It's still doing very well for itself. Dark World, huh? I'm gonna say fringe playable around Plunder. Yeah, that's about it. Ubel, Ubel now I think is probably just performing as expected. For now, it's as expected. It's the best deck in as not above that actually. What am I doing? Not above Fire King Snake Eye. I think performing as expected, Ubel is doing well. Nightmare Pain and Forever Defender are very good cards, but once we get like Spirit of Ubel, I think that should be fine. Kashtira just manages to get tops because of Dimension Shifter. Really, do they need another decent rank 7? Maybe. Um, if they want to get off the ground and be meta defining like they once were. But I think they're still performing as expected as a shifter deck, and as Fenrir, activate Fenrir still demands a response. Drytron. I still want to do the Arcana Face World like turbo deck one day. It's probably around here with Dragon Link. I think I'm putting it above Plunder Runic right now. Drytron still has a lot. We just don't have Eva. We don't have a lot. We still lose very hard to draw, and a lot of decks are either siding it or even kind of main decking it because it is a hand trap format. But I think Drytron is very susceptible to all of the current hand traps being played. Hero. I think they're flops. I think they're kind of flopping. They're better than Scareclaw, but they're not going to be above solid. They're flopping even with 3 malicious. It's doable, but it's gonna be a really hard one to say that Hero's in a good spot right now, even with 3 malicious. Infernoid, we don't have the new Infernoid stuff, so until we get the new Infernoid stuff, we don't need to talk about this deck right now. PK, the deck that just comes in when anytime it's a new format, like new cards change the whole format. PK comes in and just like claims the top, but I'm not gonna put them above. I'm not putting them above Hero. No, Stun. Stun is always gonna be fringe playable, no matter how bad it is. Sometimes you just like they find an even weirder floodgate, and it does enough for that archetype. And last Tri Brigade. I think I gotta put it here. It's another flop. I don't know. Ragnar Rika hopefully does a lot for other beasts for other tri types, but pure Tri Brigade is probably just gonna be right there. Yeah. Let me know your comments, questions, and concerns about the meta and my views on it. Let me know how wrong I am because I'm probably wrong. most of these. But what do you think about the format where these decks place? Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.